Hey guys, Ducks Hockey and more is talking Anaheim Ducks, and we're going to be talking about specifically those off-season players or off-season targets that Anaheim and Pat Verbeek should be looking for to help this team moving forward in the rebuild. So stick around. All right, guys. Hey, welcome back. Ducks Hockey and More is coming at you. It's a Sunday. The first week of the playoffs for the 2023 season here is completed today, actually. So exciting stuff. Definitely check out my NHL playoff videos if you want to get kind of caught up on what's going on with that. But we're going to be talking Anaheim Ducks right now, okay? There's going to be a huge offseason for Anaheim. They are going to be not only potential Connor Bedard, or Adam Fantilli, or Carlson, or even Matvei Michkov potentially going to Anaheim. We're going to get a top 3 pick. Hopefully it's number 1, right? So that's the big talk in Anaheim right now. That overshadows everything. But there is the other side of things that's going to happen. Obviously, free agency is going to come along in July. The draft is going to come along, and there's going to be trades prior to the draft, on draft day, which you see a lot of. And then there's going to be a lot of off-season moves. Players that are under contract that are going to get traded, free agents that are going to be signed. So I wanted to talk about Anaheim Duck free agent targets. So not Ducks, current Ducks, but players that the Anaheim Ducks should be looking at to help this team rebuild. And for the future, as we start to get better in the next couple years, they'll be part of that core group of young guys and help us playoff-wise become a contender year after year, right? So here's kind of what I put together. So let's just start, okay, with the fact that the Ducks are projected to have about $40 million in cap space next year, okay? That's a lot of money, guys, okay? That's a lot of money to play with, okay? They had a lot of money last year, and just to get to the cap floor so that they could, they had to sign John Klingberg to that big deal, and that put them where they needed to be so that they got over the cap floor hit. But with $40 million to play with, I'm not worried about the cap floor this year. We got to re-sign restricted free agents Terry, Zegras. Those two alone are going to demand quite a raise. Drysdale's also thrown in that mix, and you got to look at guys like Lucas Dostal. I have a feeling all 4 of those are going to be re-signed, okay? I don't see any one of those guys being let go in any way, shape, or form. Guys like Simon Benoit could potentially get re-signed because he's also a restricted free agent, but I don't know. Is Pat Verbeek going to hold on to him? Does he like what he sees in Benoit? I like him, and I think he's worth keeping around at least one more year, see how much he progresses. But here we go. We're going to talk about some of the scoring wingers that are going to be available and who I think the Ducks and Pat Verbeek should be looking at hard to bring to Anaheim. Okay, here we go. 2 of these guys are young, okay? They would fit right in with the core and what we're trying to do. Only one of them is older, and I'm not sure about him, but I put him in there just because it's an interesting idea that he could become a Duck just for fun, but here we go. So, DeBrincat started in Chicago. He's now with Ottawa, right? I think that Ottawa, he's got a $9 million qualifying offer that I don't think, and a lot of the rumors and the things that I'm reading, I don't think Ottawa's going to go that route. I really don't. They've got goaltending issues, okay? Cam Talbot in Ottawa hasn't really fulfilled and lived up to what they expected him to do. There's just a lot of things in Ottawa where they are getting close to being a playoff ready team year after year. Cam Talbot's not the guy. He just isn't. DeBrincat, do they want to give him that kind of money and sign him to a long-term deal? I don't know. I kind of have a feeling Ottawa's going to move him. And a lot of talk right now is DeBrincat's going to get moved during the draft, okay, as a piece in the draft to move to basically, hey, we'll give you DeBrincat type of thing, throw some draft, picks in there, that kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see. But that's kind of what I'm reading. Here's the interesting part of this, okay? He wants a long-term contract. Anaheim's got that $40 million of space to work with. Obviously, some of it's going to get soaked up by some of these RFAs we are going to re-sign. but there's still a lot of room there. A lot. It's a Brinkett. He's a proven goal scorer. He can, look, the dynamics that he would bring to this team are unbelievable. And he's a young guy. He's not that old. You know what I mean? So I think that is something that they should highly look at. And I'll get into something else regarding to Brinkett in a second. Another player, though, to think about is William Nylander of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Austin Matthews' contract's up, okay? So Toronto, they're going to put the money up to re-sign him. They are. Okay, but that kind of leaves Nylander as the odd man out. I don't think they're going to be able to do that with him. So it's going to become move Nylander, make space for Austin Matthews' huge contract. So here you are. Ducks go after Nylander, another great scoring winger, a great offensive weapon that we can add to our already highly skilled offensive core. Okay, I mean, just think about it. Think about some of these players, okay? What if we do get Connor Bedard? And what if we do go and get a Nylander or a DeBrincat? Okay, you've got McTavish, Zegras. I don't care if it's Bedard, Fantilli, whatever, you add one of those to the mix. Then you've got these defensive prospects like Zellweger, Minchikov. Are you kidding me? I mean, it is unbelievable. Okay, Ducks fans, I mean, I know it was a horrible season and you're pissed about it. And I am too. I thought it was really bad. They were not competitive, in my opinion. But the future of this team, potentially, if Pat Verbeek can pull off some things and we get, like a Bedard, for example, can you picture what the future would look like? I mean, it is un-effing believable how good this team's going to be. The issue is they're all young. They're young and they're still learning and they're still growing and they're still getting bigger and stronger. You know what I mean? So you can't just expect it. Oh, there it is. You're going to be great. It's going to take a little bit of time. And there's going to be those veteran pieces you got to keep or bring into the mix. But holy shit, this team is going to be amazing. Another 2 or 3 years down the line. Holy crap, dude. Anyways, moving on. William Nylander, Toronto. Can you imagine that? That'd be great. Here's another weird one that I kind of threw in. This is the guy, he's an older guy. He was just traded from St. Louis to the New York Rangers, Vladimir Tarasenko. Tarasenko will be a UFA, but will New York want to keep him around? I think they're going to probably want to keep Patrick Kane around for a couple of years. Okay, he's got a couple of really good years left. I think they might want to do that. But are they going to really want to keep Tarasenko around? I think Morgan Rendell, he was just here to help him try to make a playoff push and go for the cup. And then it's peace out, Tarasenko. He's an older guy. He's in his mid-30s. Do you want to take a chance on him? Or I should say he's, I don't know about mid-30s. I think he's like early 30s. But, you give him a contract, for a guy that's in his, early to mid-30s. Yeah, it's not going to be huge. You're still going to have to pay him pretty good because it is Vladimir Tarasenko. So that's highly unlikely, but he is potentially, a veteran winger that the Ducks could bring in and add some experience through this rebuild. I don't know if that's something Tarasenko's willing to do, and I certainly don't know if that's something Verbeek is willing to do. Probably not. But interesting enough, wouldn't that be interesting to have him as an Anaheim Duck? Pretty cool stuff. Defense, okay? On the defensive side, the Anaheim Ducks, obviously we have a great prospect pool of defensemen coming up, but they're all super young. They have no experience at the NHL level. Our defense was absolutely atrocious this year. We all know that, Ducks fans, right? So what do? You got to bring some good, solid, defensive-minded players in. The Shattenkirk of the world, they're probably going to keep him since they didn't move him at the deadline last year. They're probably going to re-sign Shattenkirk. I can't see them just letting him walk away. That or they're going to trade him at the draft or something dumb like that. Cam Fowler, solid defensive guy. To me, he should be a Duck till the day he retires. That's my opinion. So, in my opinion, you're going to have Fowler. You're probably going to have Shattenkirk again unless they do something. But you've got those two guys. There's your veteran presence now. And then the rest, they're all younger. And they weren't that great, right? Nothing really good came out of it. So Jackson Lacombe looked really, really good. Because he's an older guy playing with men in college, at his age, I feel like Jackson Lacombe, he's going to be in the lineup next season. Okay, so Let's say it's Fowler, Shattenkirk, Jackson, Lacombe. Well, you still got 3 more to go, right? Okay, Drysdale comes in, there's number 4. He's healthy, he's playing. There's 4. Simon Benoit, do you keep him? Does he stay with the team? If he does, there's 5. But where's number 6, right? We need that 6th good stay-at-home D guy, right? Absolutely. Gotta have it. So maybe the Ducks go out and get some of that, okay? Brady Skjei, I kill names, but this guy, Brady Skjei of Carolina, maybe we trade for him. Maybe we give up one of our forwards or somebody, not one of our young prospects, but maybe like an Adam Henrique or Jacob Silverberg, Max Comtois, one of these guys. As much as I like Max Jones, Max Jones is a potential, peace out guy. And you get a Brady Skjei in return, solid defenseman, solidify our D, so we're not letting pucks in left and right. Some other names to consider. These are all UFAs. Brady was not, but Oscar Klefbom in Edmonton. He's a UFA. Is Edmonton going to want to keep him around? Dmitry Orlov. He was traded from Washington to Boston. Does Boston want to keep Orlov in the lineup moving forward? Can they afford him? Potentially, yes, they can. And they may. They probably will. But Dmitry Orlov may be a UFA and open market. Travis Hamonic, okay, out of Ottawa. Vladislav Gavrikov, who ended up getting traded from Columbus to LA at the trade deadline. He's a UFA. Is LA going to hold on to him? They're going to keep him around? And then like Carson Soucy, he's in Seattle right now. Another potential UFA that Seattle may not want to keep around, but might help our defense, okay, moving forward. As we had so many holes, we could use a guy like that. So interesting stuff to think about. Ducks for Beak. Are they going to go after an experienced stay-at-home defenseman to help our D? I think they need to do it. So anyways, give me your thoughts and comments below, guys. Ducks fans, hockey fans, let me know. Tell me what you think. Same with the DeBrincat, Nylander issue. Let me know what you think. Now let's go to John Gibson. Okay, John Gibson, our goalie, guy's money. Okay, I'd hate to see this guy go. That's how much I like him. Okay, number 36 he's going to go down in history with the Anaheim Ducks as one of the greatest goaltenders to ever play the game for Anaheim. Does he deserve to be stuck in this rebuild when he's right in his prime right now? Or should he be playing for a contender? Give him a shot to win the cup, be in the playoffs, and be a significant player in the postseason. Something he hasn't really had a chance to do. Part of me says yes, part of me says no. I want him to stay with the Anaheim Ducks because he's that good. Well, if Anaheim decides to move him, they're not going to. Pat Verbeek has made it very clear. If he moves John Gibson, he's going to have a goalie in return to use in trade with him. So you move Gibson, you're going to get somebody in return to put in his place, right? Okay. That being said, Dostal's still young, and he still needs that backup experience, NHL experience. He's not ready for the night in, night out stuff. He's a few years away from that probably. Okay, so you trade Gibson. Okay, here's some of the targets. So these two teams, Pittsburgh and Ottawa, and it makes sense. Hear me out. Pittsburgh, okay, John Gibson's hometown. Tristan Jarry did not live up to his expectations. A lot of injury issues. Okay, I know Pittsburgh's thinking right now, and they let go of Brian Burke. Can't think of his name, but the GM's gone. The president of hockey operations has been fired, Brian Burke. So now they have to fill that void. Is new management going to go looking for a new goaltender? I have a feeling they might. Here's what potentially could happen if Pittsburgh decided to go after John Gibson. This is what I would think Anaheim would get. Either Jake Gensel, okay, or Brian Rust. For John Gibson, and probably going to get a goalie in return too, like Tristan Jarry and a Jake Gensel for Gibson, and maybe a pick or something like that. I think it would be a player for player. Keep in mind that Verbeek wants to have a goaltender to put in his place. Now, does he care if it's from that same team in a trade for John, or will he just go out and get one? Doesn't really matter. He just wants to make sure he has somebody. So Pittsburgh is an interesting landing spot for John, and what Anaheim gets in return is what's more intriguing. Jake Gensel or something like that would be pretty awesome. Here's the one I like, okay? The Ottawa connection with John Gibson. Cam Talbot didn't cut it in Ottawa. Ottawa wants to be they're right on the cusp of being a playoff team. Okay, they need a solid goaltender. Well, John brings that. Okay, his experience and how good he is brings that to the Ottawa Senators, and I think that's their missing piece. I really do. That's what Ottawa needs to get to the next level. Okay, so John brings that. What do you get in return? DeBrincat, guys. So you get in the trade DeBrincat. And I'll even take on a Cam Talbot while Dostal continues to improve and get better. Cam Talbot's not horrible. He didn't do so well in Ottawa, but maybe he'll do better in Anaheim. We're in a rebuild. It doesn't matter if Cam Talbot is the greatest goaltender. No. What you are is you're just saying, hey, we'll take Cam Talbot. He's an experienced goaltender. He can be a number one. It can be a very good 1-2 Dostal Talbot type of deal. Gibson goes to Ottawa. What do we get? We get Talbot and DeBrincat. Ottawa gets John Gibson and maybe like one of our 3 second-round picks in this year's draft. Okay, because we've got 3 number 2 second-round picks. Ottawa, you can have one. Give them one of them. And John for DeBrincat. Huge. Okay, that's just what I think. Okay, if I'm Verbeek, that's kind of what I'm thinking right there. But interesting stuff, isn't it? So there you go. There's some of the targets of the Anaheim Ducks that I was intrigued by, and I wanted to talk about. There are probably lots of other ones out there, and I'm interested to know what you guys think. Are there any players out there that you would like to see on Anaheim and who would help this team moving forward? Keep in mind, we have a young core of players that we're building around, and then we've got this young defensive core of defensive players coming, and these. We've got some really good players coming up. They're all young, but we need to add those experienced pieces to kind of fill in the gaps and get us to that point where we are back in the playoffs year after year. So, hey, good stuff. So far, the offseason for the Anaheim Ducks is off to a good start. Dallas Eakins is gone. That was job number 1 done, okay? So now it's Connor Bedard time or Adam Fantilli time. We got to figure out where the draft lottery is going to do to us. Is it going to be nice? Is it going to be mean? Either way, we're going to get a top 3 pick. And then after that becomes that draft and any trades that happen prior to that draft. And then free agents in the offseason, the free agency will start sometime in July. And that's when it really gets exciting to see what kind of players are we going to see. Last year we saw Vetrano and Ryan Strome come over. And then eventually John Klingberg. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. It's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys got to keep your ears, eyes glued to Ducks Hockey and More and NHL news, apps, wherever you get your information from the NHL. Keep your eyes and ears glued to that. And I will always bring you any Ducks stuff right here at Ducks Hockey and More. So that being said, thanks for watching. Make sure you go down and subscribe to the channel and smash the like button, guys. It helps get this out to as many people as possible. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you have to do it. Subscribe. I want to blow it up. I've already gotten to 200 subscribers. Thank you, guys, for helping me get to 200 subscribers. I got to 100 subscribers in about 4 months and then 200 in only about 2 months. Things are happening faster. Things are growing. Thank you so much for that. But if you haven't yet, you got to go do it now. Help me blow it up. And I really appreciate you guys watching to the end anyway. So thanks for watching. We will see you on the next one.